Russia and the Eastern Roman Empire are allied, as I said currently. I'm sorry, southern and northern. Oh, and India, there was a revolt in India. Along with that, the Sindh area rebels. This also includes and this small coastal territory, along with all of these cities, they become the colonies. These areas are now officially known as as the colonial republic. The Bengal military is still overextended, and the blue team launches a counterattack to retake the Indus River territories. The blue team is actually going to march in. They are going to march in, take over territories, even launch a naval invasion into Mumbai. Which I think is basically the Silicon Valley of India in real life. I don't know if there's Indian. No, there are no Indians in my comments. There are only Americans. British people and Georgians, and those Georgians are my family and some random Georgians. Well, with the Bengal Empire forced to fight revolts, its government is forced to lose the Indus, and the colonial republic, which would become the Republic of the of uh, of the Pink Republic, stays neutral. The Bengal Empire quickly reorganizes into and reorganizes around here, and it quickly stabilizes. Well, we also look into the China, the Sino-China War. The Chinese invade Xia. They conquer Xia. And this country, the Xia country, moves a bunch of its populations and assets to this farming area, which for some reason hasn't grown into a city. And the Tibetan territories. Both of them are now claiming all of Tibet, but and a large chunk of their population evacuates with this ancient kingdom. This is one of the oldest countries. Okay, not one of the oldest, but one of the oldest continuous governments. I think that which also include. So furthermore, China isn't the oldest country technically because of its Civil War period, but still pretty old. This is the second Chinese period. These guys have finally colonized Tibet and are starting to build it in their image. They moved a bunch of people in here into Tibet. They basically founded cities in the lakes. So this area, with the kingdom slowly dissipating, Tibet becomes a bunch of small territories with some trade relations, but they are mainly relatively isolated. We have the Northern Kingdom, the Central Kingdom, the South, this city, and the Alliance and the Lake Republic. A lot of these territories are disconnected mountain regions that are basically small village tribes. But for simplicity, let's just give them to the nearest city. With So this the migration of Xiao leads to the colonization of Tibet and and the Tibetan Neolithic, the Tibetan Neolithic. It's not actually a Neolithic age, more like a bunch of disconnected cities with actually pretty high, with pretty technologically developed, and a bunch of minor tribes that were filthy. Basically, these lakes become the only chance for these countries, and the lakes become sacred. And the cities where there are no lakes, for example, here, they just storm. Eventually, this city just dies out completely. Same with the capital, with its population is migrating to a different spot while joining this kingdom. That's what we here, 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 here. So basically, Tibet is divided between this country, this country, and this country, with essentials being trade superpowers. While the Americas are being while the Americas are, the discovery of the Americas by the Scots gets quickly noticed. The exploration starts at first by the Scots after that they discovered the Great Lakes. Another country, another settling team from somewhere, no one knows where, discovers multiple new areas, including the basin of these rivers and the Caribbeans. Nobody knows what countries discover these areas, but Europe is slowly moving out of the feudal age. But what will be the final conflict that make use move out of the medieval age? Let me show you. This would be the Holy Roman Empire versus the French, the Ukrainians. The Holy Roman Empire is just too strong for many European countries. You know, and they decided to cooperate in an alliance known as the First Coalition. Alliance of these three countries. This also includes Romania. They also join the Square team. The Empire joins the Circle team due to along with Romania. No, what do you mean by Romania? No. Romania stays in the squares. These guys join the circles. And Europe is quickly divided into two factions. Naturally, as you can see, the religions are basically the same as religion for now isn't that as the Aquitanian Crusades are being forgotten and geopolitics are starting to get made. The the British Isles have their own tensions, mainly its main colonial tensions, with the Brits being envious, with the Brits and the Irish being envious of the Scots, so they straight up invade Scotland, or at least the home territory of Scotland. Eventually, uh, eventually they sign a peace treaty where this area goes to Ireland. And Scotland actually gets to survive, but only over here. With, and it has to pay serious taxes to England, and it's finally discovered who got to colonize these areas. This is England. Ireland discovered this area, and with that, no, not with that. Seems you gave me your answer too. Well, also, not. I don't want to start a European conflict just right now. Oh, the Scots actually do get to keep their colonies, and plus they get a free outpost in Greenland, and one half of Iceland is theirs. The Scots expand into Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. And the New World is a massive thing with the country of Guinea discovering the Amazon. And yeah, with that, let's end